For this video, we're going to look at a Caro-Kann game played by ChessGoals member Mourato, aka Mourato, and he's playing the black pieces, and he got to use his Caro-Kann repertoire that he just got from ChessGoals. He actually won this repertoire as part of a contest that we have, and I'll put some links in the description below to give you additional details about the ChessGoals Caro-Kann repertoire, but I just had to show this game. He put it in our group Discord chat, and he was really stoked. He just learned this line the day prior and got to unleash the line the very next day. Okay, let's go through these moves. E4, C6, D4, D5. So this is the initial setup of the Caro-Kann. His opponent played E5, and Mourato played C5, applying immediate pressure to the D4 pawn. So already put in the question to white, how do you defend this pawn on D4? White played C3, that's the most common move for club level players. Knight C6, we see another attacker on the D4 pawn. So two attackers on D4. Knight F3 looks logical, bring in a defender. But now, Mourato played the right move, bishop to G4, pinning the knight to the queen and threatening to take on D4. So already now white has to really start to think, what do I do about this threat? How do I defend the D4 pawn? The natural move when you see a knight pinned to your queen is to block with the bishop. So that's what white did in this position. Now after c takes d4, c takes d4, e6, we have sort of this French defense structure for black. Pawns on f7, e6, and d5. White has pawns on d4 and e5. But if you look at this light square bishop, it's outside of this pawn chain. So one thing that we have in our Discord is a chess memes channel. And really the light square bishop has become a famous piece in that channel. So the light square bishop is outside of the pawn chain here. Can easily be traded off, which will put extra pressure on this d4 pawn later. So white plays h3. We see this capture on f3, and now the whole game becomes about this pawn on d4. We have a very nice target. We can apply extra pressure to it. White has to figure out how to keep it defended. So now Mourato pulls out this great move, queen b6, hitting the d4 pawn a second time, also hitting the b2 pawn. What white wants to do is play bishop to e3, but the problem is the pawn on b2 drops. And if you look at the Stockfish eval here, black already has a pretty comfortable advantage. White plays b3, and black takes the pawn on d4, so that's a free pawn. And we can see this pawn on e5 is also a bit loose. And if white were to trade queens, which he did in the game, after knight takes back, now there's a threat of knight c2 check. There's a threat of knight takes f3. A lot of things for white to deal with here. So a natural way to guard the c2 square is to play knight a3. But if you look a little bit deeper, there's this nice tactic that Mourato found. Bishop takes a3. Bishop takes back, and now knight c2 check. So taking on a3 removed the defender of the c2 square, getting this fork to work. After king d2, knight takes a3. If we do a material count here, black is already up one pawn and a minor piece. Great position. Rook a c1 makes sense, rook on the open file. And Mourato develops his knight, getting ready to get the last rook into the game. Rook c7, b6, rook c1, knight b5, another very nice move, kicking this rook off of the 7th rank. It could go to b7, but that rook might actually get trapped there. It looks a little bit uncomfortable for white. So he retreats. Rook c2, castle, and here white resigned the game already. It's a -6 advantage. Black is about to play rook c8, start trading everything off, and convert the endgame. So I just had to show this game. It was a really nice Caro-Kann game by black, and these players are rated 1400, And it really just goes to show that even in an opening with a reputation of being, very solid in the Caro-Kann, you can really apply some pressure to your opponent's position. And that's one thing we try to do in our Caro-Kann course. We look for lines that are dynamic from the black point of view, and we try to create weaknesses in white's camp and really pose tough questions to our opponent. We want to make them figure out difficult decisions. If they don't figure out those decisions, then we'll have tactics, hopefully, like happened in this game. We're able to win material or just get such an overwhelming advantage that we can convert the end games. All right, so there will be some links in the description below on the Caro-Kann course and some other links to ChessGoals if you want to find out more about our project. If you like this video, please click the like button and please subscribe for more content.